Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a crazy Tuesday, and honestly, we need to talk about the absolute madness happening on our screens right now because my jaw is still on the floor. Grab a coffee because this is a lot to unpack. And I don't even know where to start with this one. You guys? So let's just jump right into the aftermath of that horrific showdown at the Forrester mansion. We all saw Brooke completely lose her mind and officially disown Katie. Brooke was so vicious, so cold, and she basically told Katie that she was dead to her. And Katie, she's completely shattered. She leaves the mansion. Her sisterhood is in ruins. Her family is torn apart, and all she can think about is Will. She knows Will is spiraling. She knows he's in a dark place after the whole bar fight with RJ and accidentally punching Eric, so she drives over to the beach house to check on him. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, could have prepared Katie for what she was about to walk into, or prepared us, for that matter. So Katie pulls up to the beach house. And the place is just dead quiet. Too quiet, you know? She walks in, and the first thing she notices is the smell, stale alcohol, despair. It's just heavy in the air. The living room is a complete disaster zone. There are empty liquor bottles everywhere, smashed glass. It looks like a tornado of depression just ripped through the place. And then she sees him. Will is lying on the floor, motionless, completely unresponsive. And he's just surrounded by this sea of empty bottles, but that's not even the worst part. Scattered all around him are these strange pills, unknown pills. And I'm sitting here screaming at my screen, like, what are those? Where did he get them? Will has been drinking heavily? Yes, we knew that. We saw him drowning his sorrows after Elektra dumped him and sided with RJ, but pills. This takes it to a whole new, terrifying level. Katie freezes. For a split second, her brain just can't process the visual. Her son, her little boy, lying there like a corpse, and then the mother's panic kicks in. She drops her bag, she rushes over to him, she's shaking him, screaming his name. Will, wake up, but he's just limp. It's honestly one of the most heartbreaking scenes I've watched in a long time. Heather Tom is acting her absolute heart out here. You guys, the sheer terror in her eyes is palpable. But wait, because the scene gets even more twisted. As Katie is sobbing over Will's body, trying to find a pulse, she looks up. And standing in the corner of the room, half hidden in the shadows, is Melissa Dillon. Just standing there. Trembling, shaking like a leaf, looking absolutely terrified. And Katie just stops because why is she here? And more importantly, why is she just standing there? Katie screams at her, "What did you do? Did you call 911?" And Dillon, she just stammers. She can't explain herself. She can't explain why she didn't call an ambulance sooner. She's just frozen in this state of guilty shock. Let's be real for a second. We all knew Dillon followed Will home. We knew she was plotting to take advantage of his vulnerable, drunken state to orchestrate some kind of romantic rebound. She wanted to be the one to comfort him now that Elektra was out of the picture. But what the hell actually happened in that beach house? Did she bring the pills? Did she give them to him to calm him down, or to sedate him so she could play nurse? Or did Will find them himself and she just sat there and watched him take them? The fact that she didn't immediately call for help makes her look so incredibly guilty. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe she just panicked. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. If someone is dying on the floor, you call 911. You don't just stand there shaking while his mother has to discover his near-dead body. Katie realizes that Dillon has been there this whole time, just watching Will slip away, and Katie lets out this scream. It's not just a cry for help. It is this visceral, agonizing, soul-crushing scream of a mother who realizes she might be too late. And then the guilt hits Katie. It hits her like a freight train. Because as she's holding Will, surrounded by the wreckage of his life, she has this massive, crushing epiphany. This is her fault. I know, Will made his own choices to drink, but think about the bigger pattern here. Katie has been so blindly obsessed with building Logan Creations. She was so desperate to beat Forrester Creations, to steal hope away, to launch this massive fashion empire, that she completely ignored the human cost. She forced Will to keep all these massive corporate secrets from Elektra. She forced him to lie to the girl he loved. She told him it was just business. She prioritized her ambition over her son's mental health. And look where it led. Will was crushed by the weight of those secrets. He snapped. He got into that fight with RJ. He accidentally hit Eric. He was banished by his own grandfather. He lost Elektra. His entire life imploded because Katie used him as a pawn in her corporate war against Ridge and Steffy. Katie looks at the pills, she looks at the booze, and she realizes that her relentless drive to build the Logan Empire has literally cost her son his life. Or, at least, brought him to the absolute brink of death. She abandoned him for her business, and this is the price. The irony is just sickening. She finally gets the successful fashion launch she wanted, but she loses her sister, and now she might lose her son. So the paramedics finally arrive, presumably because Katie calls them while screaming at Dylan to get out of her sight. They rush Will to the hospital, and obviously, Bill Spencer gets the call. And you guys, Dollar Bill is back. When Bill finds out what happened, he doesn't just break down in tears. No, Bill Spencer gets mad. He gets a level of enraged that we haven't seen in years. He storms into that hospital, and when he hears that Will was found unresponsive, surrounded by pills and alcohol, Bill's grief instantly morphs into pure, unadulterated fury. And who does he blame? The Forresters. Bill makes a vow right then and there. He swears with this terrifying calmness that if Will dies, if his son doesn't make it out of that hospital bed, he is going to level Forrester Creations to the ground. He is going to completely annihilate them. He will destroy Ridge. He will destroy Eric. He will wipe that smug, manipulative smirk off RJ's face forever. And honestly, I am here for it. Because Bill is right, yes, Will threw the punch. But RJ instigated that fight at the bikini bar. RJ ducked on purpose so Eric would get hit. RJ manipulated the entire narrative to make Will look like an unhinged monster so he could steal Elektra and Ridge. Ridge has been parading around like this self-righteous hypocrite, demanding that Elektra cut ties with Will because Will is violent. Meanwhile, Ridge literally punched Bill in the face just a few weeks ago. The double standards of the Forrester family are absolutely nauseating. Bill sees right through it. He knows that Ridge and Eric pushed Will into this dark corner. They banished him. They treated him like garbage. They stripped him of his dignity and his girlfriend. And Bill is not going to let them get away with it. This corporate war over fashion lines and diamonds, that's over. This is a blood feud now. If Will doesn't survive, Bill Spencer is going to burn Los Angeles to the ground, and I don't think there is a single person who can stop him. But let's circle back to Katie for a minute, because her psychological state right now is just fascinating and tragic. She is sitting in that hospital waiting room, covered in her son's vomit or whatever, just completely broken. She is facing the ultimate regret. She wanted to prove to Brooke and to Ridge that she could be a powerhouse CEO. She wanted to step out of the shadows, but at what cost? What is the point of having a billion-dollar fashion house if you have to bury your child? Katie is going to be tortured by this. Every time she looks at a Logan Creations logo, she is going to see Will lying on that floor. And what about Melissa Dillon? What the hell is her explanation going to be? The police are going to have questions. Bill is definitely going to have questions. If Bill finds out that Dylan was standing there watching his son overdose and didn't call 911, he might just throw her off the Spencer Publications roof. Dylan has been playing this dangerous, manipulative game, trying to rebound with Will, trying to secure her spot, and now she is implicated in a potential tragedy. She is in way over her head. I honestly don't know how she comes back from this. And let's zoom out and think about how the fans on social media are going to react to this. People are going to be divided. Some people are going to blame Katie, saying she was a terrible mother for ignoring the warning signs. Some people are going to blame Elektra for abandoning him when he needed her most. And some people are going to blame the writers for taking Will down this incredibly dark path. I mean, what were they thinking? Will has always been this sweet kid, and now he's an alcoholic popping mystery pills. It's a lot. It is a very heavy storyline. But it also fits the show's usual style of pushing characters to the absolute brink before forcing a massive shift in the family dynamics. Because think about it. If Will survives, this changes everything. Does Elektra feel guilty? Does she realize that RJ played her and that Will was actually suffering? Does she run back to Will's bedside, leaving RJ in the dust? Or does RJ use this overdose as further proof that Will is a danger to himself and others? Knowing RJ, he's probably going to spin this to make himself look like the hero who saved Elektra from a junkie. God, I can't stand him right now. And how is Brooke going to react? She just disowned Katie. She literally told Katie she was no longer family. But now her nephew is on his deathbed. Does Brooke swallow her pride and go to the hospital to support her sister? Or is she so blinded by her rage over Hope's fashion line that she stays away? If Brooke doesn't show up for Katie now, there is truly no coming back for the Logan sisters. The sisterhood is dead and buried. This whole situation is just a massive, tangled mess of guilt, ambition, and revenge. Katie is drowning in regret. Bill is plotting a war. Dylan is hiding something sinister. And Will is fighting for his life. It feels like a first draft of a tragedy that just keeps getting worse. I meant to clean up my thoughts on this, but honestly, my brain is just spinning with all the possibilities. Will Spencer has to survive. He just has to. Because if he doesn't, the collateral damage is going to wipe out half the cast. Bill will go to prison for whatever he does to Ridge. Katie will lose her mind. It's just too dark, but you know what? With these writers, you never actually know. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. We are all just strapping in for the ride. So yeah, that's where we are. Katie's ambition broke her son. Bill is ready for war. And I am going to need a very strong drink before tomorrow's episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Dylan responsible? Will Bill actually destroy Forrester? And can Katie ever forgive herself? I'll see you guys next time.